Hi everyone. So very good evening and welcome back to CGB Mentors. In this particular class, we are going to discuss few more questions on your MSME section because that remains really important, right? So one by one, we will be discussing the questions which are important, and they also give you a direction that on what lines you should study and what are the facts and figures that you should focus on, right? So let us start. Question number 1. Let's see. As per the public procurement policy for the Micro Small Enterprises Order 2018, every central ministry department PSU shall set an annual target of 25% procurement from the MSME sector. So number one fact is 25% procurement has to be done from the MSME sector. 25% procurement आपको MSME sector से करना ही करना है. But out of that 25% target, how much you have to do? There is a sub target also that how much you should do from the MSMEs which are owned by the SC ST entrepreneurs. ठीक है? तो SC ST entrepreneurs जो MSMEs हैं which are owned by the SC ST entrepreneurs, how much is the sub target out of the 25%? Would you like to answer it? Any answers for that? See, right now over here, the sub target within the 25% target for the SC ST entrepreneurs is 4%, right? So 4% is the correct answer. Overall procurement goal is 25% and a sub target of 4% out of annual procurement has been prescribed for the MSMEs which are owned by the SC ST entrepreneurs. Now next thing is same question, but they are asking about what is reserved for the enterprises which are owned by the women. ठीक है? So ऐसी enterprises which are owned by the women, what is the percentage that we are reserving for them? So 2%, 3%, 4%, 5% and 6%. So remember 4% is for the SC ST entrepreneurs and 3% is for the enterprises which are held by the women, right? तो यहाँ पे आपका क्या होगा? 3%. So special provisions has been made for the micro, small and enterprises which are owned by the women. So out of the total annual procurement, 3% from the within 25% target has been earmarked for your women owned enterprises. Okay. Now next is as per section 7, this has been revised. A small enterprise would be defined as this particular question we have already done. Why I have included this again is this remains very important. The criteria for the MSMEs which has been revised, right? You should not be confused between the investment and the turnover. This would be uploaded in the paid course, right? So this would be uploaded in the paid course. So this question remains important. In the previous class also we have already discussed this. So the correct answer remains 25 crores and 100 crores. Please look at the PDF again. There was somebody who has commented in the previous video that the classification is not correct. So this is the latest classification that we are having as told by the government in the budget also. So this is your new threshold: micro, small and medium, investment in the plant and machinery 2.5, 25, 125, and the annual turnover less than or equal to 10 crore, 100 crore and 500 crore. This is going to be your answer. ठीक है, ये आपका answer रहेगा. Fine. Now next question is the person is ex officio chairperson of National Board for Micro and Small and Medium Enterprise. Who is the ex officio chairperson for the National Board for Small and Medium Enterprises, right? So over here, would you like to answer? Yes, good, Yuvraj. What would be the answer over here? The correct answer is Union Minister, right? And Minister in charge of Ministry of MSME. So this particular chapter, now over here I would like to tell you that what is the National Board for Micro and Small Medium Enterprises. First of all, Minister in charge of Ministry of MSME is the ex officio chairperson of this particular board. Now what is important is this particular board provides representation to all sections, segments, association of micro, small and medium manufacturing and service enterprises, women enterprises, central ministries, state representing different regions of country, trade unions, etc. Okay, so that is the answer. Now functions of the national board, this is not very important, just you have to see that yes, it examines the factors related to promotion and development of the micro, small and medium enterprises. This is what the boards are for, ठीक है, इसी के लिए boards होते हैं, for the promotion, for review that how the policies and programs are being implemented, is there any course correction that is needed, so all that a national board does. Right now, next is as per section 7 subsection 2 of MSMED Act provides for constitution of advisory committee for MSME by notification under the chairperson of. Advisory committee हम बनाएंगे MSMEs के लिए, but under the chairmanship of secretary, development commissioner, cabinet secretary, economic advisor, minister in charge of ministry of MSME. Tell me, advisory committee would be formed under the chairmanship of, quickly. So the answer remains yes, good. Yuvraj, love. Oh, you, so this is secretary, remember that. So section 7 of the, also in this particular exam, you do not have to focus much on the sections. आपको sections के ऊपर ज़्यादा focus नहीं करना है. For example, section 2, section 5, section 7, right? These numbers are not to be remembered by you. The reason being you are not giving a law exam. Okay, so always remember, this advisory committee has to be constituted under chairmanship of secretary, Ministry of Small Medium Enterprises, and these people who are governing the important committees, boards, etc. that remains important for you to remember. ठीक है, ये आपको याद रखना है. The additional details which are given over here, like the functions. Hear me out, functions in a very brief manner along with me, because obviously the time we have is limited. To examine the matters which are given by the board concerning promotion and development of the MSME sector. See, always remember, in the setup of the governance, ठीक है, governance के setup में you have the board which recommends, and then you have a committee, right, which is what you can say implements. So always remember, there would be a board which is going to recommend, and then there would be a committee which is going to implement. Finance के current affairs आएंगे, right, from the 1st September onwards. I was supposed to start, but tomorrow please have a tab on to it. We will start that. ठीक है, तो अब हम शुरू करेंगे, because obviously your exam is also around the corner, so we cannot delay it. So anyway, it provides the advice to the central government on the issues related to promotion, development, enhancement, the same kind of work. Advices to the state governments if they ask for such kind of advice, right? So this is the generic function. Now next is, as per the section 16 of the MSMED Act, the buyer is liable to pay the compound interest with the monthly rest to the supplier at 3 times of the bank rate notified if he does not make the payment to the supplier for the supplies within how many days. ठीक है, MSMEs को आपको कितने दिन के अंदर अंदर पेमेंट करना पड़ेगा? Yes, 45 days. That is the correct answer. This question is very important. If you remember, this is the second time I am again revising this particular question, and also the rate at which you are going to compensate 3 times the bank rate, that also remains very important. ठीक है, 45 days and the rate you have to remember. Now, where a buyer contravenes the provisions of section 22 of MSMED Act, he shall be punishable with what fine? कितना फाइन लगेगा बताइए? What is the fine amount? What is the fine amount? It is going to be 10,000. So penalty for the contravention in the case of first conviction, there would be a fine, right? And penalty for contravention of section 62, where the buyer contravenes the provisions, he shall be punishable with the fine which shall not be exceeding rupees 10,000. What is section 22 over here? Where any buyer is required to get his annual accounts audited under the law for the time being in force, such buyer furnishes the following additional information in his annual statement. If he is not able to do so, अगर वो ऐसा नहीं कर पाता है, then in that case he has to provide the penalty. Do not panic, do not worry, right? The question will not be asked in such a manner that as per the, if this particular section is being contravened, they will clearly give you that this is the amount or this is the provision which has been contravened. Now tell us what would be the penalty in that particular case. Now National Industrial Classification, it is a revised version of NIC 2004. इसका revised version कब आया था? So I will tell you the answer, because anyway 2008 it is. Now what is this national industrial classification? The 38th session of the UN Statistical Commission recommended that countries should make an effort either to adopt the national versions or revise or to adjust the national classifications in such a way that it also meets with the international classification. So obviously India is a member and we have had our national industrial classification. What it does is it provides us a basis for the standardization, collection and dissemination of the industry-wise economy data for India. What happens is, as we read in accounts also, that standardization is very, very important. When we want to compare within countries, or let's say within country also, if we want to compare, we need the standardization. The reporting of one country has to match with the reporting of other countries. So that is why we have this industrial classification, where what we are doing is whatever industry related data is, we are standardizing this, we are putting that in a standard format and then we are forwarding it to the different kind of authorities. अलग अलग authorities को हम वो forward कर रहे हैं. So 2004 and then 2008. Now this particular platform was launched by the Ministry of MSME on 11 January 2023 to facilitate registration of informal micro enterprises through generation of Udyam Assist certificate. Now the question automatically provides you the answer. ठीक है, क्वेश्चन आपको खुद ही आंसर प्रोवाइड कर रहा है. बट यू शुड रिमेंबर दैट व्हाट इज द पर्पज ऑफ एनी काइंड ऑफ पोर्टल. ठीक है, किसी भी पोर्टल का पर्पज क्या है. दिस क्वेश्चन आंसर व्हाट यू कैन से गाइड्स यू अकॉर्डिंगली. सो यस, करेक्ट. लव युवराज, श्रीधर. So Udyam Assist platform, government has this particular platform. Now we have given the huge data that what is required, Aadhaar is required, completion, Udyam registration certificate would be issued, a dynamic QR code, certificate will have a dynamic QR code from which the web page of registration portal and details can be accessed. But what you have to remember is that why this particular platform was launched, so that we can facilitate the registration of informal micro enterprises through the generation of Udyam Assist certificate. Formalization remains the idea behind this particular platform. ठीक है, बाकी का भी और additional data है which you can go through. Now this portal gives information about individual CPSEs, central ministries, state governments and other buyers regarding the payments pending with them in respect to the MSME. Now as you have read the 3 lines, you should know the answer of this particular question without me telling you. Central ministries and state governments, they monitor the delayed payments. So which particular portal was made for this? बताइए कौन सा पोर्टल बनाया गया था इसके लिए. See, the correct answer remains Samadhan portal. Samadhan portal talks about, it tells about the payments, what are the problem, what is the delay that is happening, right? Delay ke baad, good Shreya, right? So over here the Samadhan portal is the correct answer. See, all these portals are very what you can say closely aligned. They basically do the same kind of work, but the keyword over here was the delayed payments and the monitoring, right? So then there is an issue and we are monitoring it and we are trying to resolve it. So the Samadhan portal is the correct answer for this. Now every reference made to the Micro Small Medium Facilitation Council shall be decided within what period of days from the date of making such kind of reference as provided by the MSME Act. कितने दिन में, अगर आपने एक रेफरेंस दिया है माइक्रो स्मॉल एंड फैसिलिटेशन काउंसिल, सो इन हाउ मेनी डेज इट शुड बी डिसाइडेड, कितने दिन के अंदर डिसाइड होना चाहिए. एनी काइंड ऑफ रेफरेंस मेड टू माइक्रो स्मॉल एंटरप्राइजेस फैसिलिटेशन काउंसिल, टेल मी. 15, 30, 45, 60, 90. So the correct answer remains 90 days. The provisions are implemented by the Micro Small Enterprise Facilitation Council, who chairs this, Director of Industries of the state and UTs who are having the administrative control. This is also very, very important, right? This council ensures that meetings are held regularly and delayed payment cases are decided within a period of 90 days. ठीक है, कितने दिन के अंदर अंदर? 90 days. So out of this particular question, remember the name of council, who chairs this particular council, because the state's name is also coming into it, and also remember the dates. आपको date भी याद रखनी है. That means the time limit has to be remembered. Now if the applicant, not being supplier, wants to file an appeal, no application for setting aside any decree or award by the MSEFC shall be entertained by any court unless the appellant has deposited with it what percentage of the award amount. So over here we are talking about how much security has to be provided by you in case you want your case a hearing. कितना आपको provide करना है. Okay. Let's have a look on to the answer. Yes, 75% remains the correct answer. So if the appellant wants to file an appeal, no application for setting aside any decree would be entertained by any court unless you have deposited 75% of the award amount. That shows your seriousness. Okay? Ministry of MSME has established export facilitation center across the country with an aim to provide requisite mentoring and hand-holding support to the MSEs. So this has changed recently, right? This has changed recently as per my information. So what would be the correct answer? बताइए. Are you guys sure about it? See, as per my information, it is 65 because this has been as per the Lok Sabha reply. Okay. I don't know from where you have read it, but this is what I have got the answer for this. This is the number. Okay. So, as per the Lok Sabha reply dated July 31st, 2025, the ministry has now established 65 export facilitation center across the country to support MSMEs in exporting their products and services. Okay, you guessed it. Okay, no issues. But this is what I have found it, right? And sometimes I can also do mistakes, so human error is always possible, but still we try to remain as accurate as possible. Anyway, so this is what I have found out. Now next is an outlay of 13,554 crores has been approved for the PMEGP for. Now over here the thing is that you have to talk about the this is the contribution. Now the question can be asked in any which way possible, right? So this is the contribution for what period, and you have been asked about the period over here. What would be the answer? So the correct answer remains the period from 2021 to 2025, right? This particular financial years have been included. Under PMEGP scheme for beneficiaries belonging to the special categories like the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, OBCs, minorities, women, ex-servicemen, transgenders, beneficiaries belonging to northeastern region and aspirational districts, the margin money subsidy in rural areas and in urban areas, what it is going to be. आपसे margin money पूछा है यहाँ पे for the rural areas and for the urban areas. And also remember, when you are marking such kind of questions, please pay special attention to what has been asked in the first place. ठीक है, पहले क्या पूछा गया है, whether they have asked about rural areas or whether they have asked about the urban areas. Tell me your answers. So these are the options. We will have one more option. Let's have a look on to this. So the correct answer remains 35% and 25%. Yes, PMEGP being a central sector scheme, it assists the general category beneficiaries with margin money subsidy of 25% of project cost in rural areas and 15% in urban areas. So not just about the special categories, but also remember that what is the subsidy on the margin money contribution, it is being provided to the general category beneficiaries, 25%, 15%, and for the special categories. And also one more thing that you have to focus on is that what are the special categories included over here. Sometimes they can trick you with any kind of inclusion which is not specifically mentioned. So that is also something you have to focus on apart from the number also. So 35% in the rural areas and 25% in the urban areas, that's the subsidy which is being provided. Now under PMEGP scheme, the maximum cost of project in the manufacturing sector and the service sector could be. क्या हो सकता है manufacturing sector में and the service sector? What is the maximum cost of project allowed under PMEGP? Tell me. Good, that's an easy thing. The maximum cost of project 50 lakhs in manufacturing sector and 20 lakhs in the service sector, right? Since 2018-19, existing Mudra enterprises, they are also supported based on the past good performances. And under second loan, maximum project cost which is admissible for the subsidy under manufacturing sector is 1 crore and for the service sector it is 25 lakhs. So this is also second loan condition also you have to remember. Now as per RBI guideline, it is obligatory on the part of exporter to realize and repatriate the full value of goods within India within how many months of export? कितने time के अंदर As per RBI guidelines, you're trying to guess that. Correct answer remains 9 months, right? Don't do it. This is the second time we are doing this particular question. If I am not wrong, this I have included in the previous PDF also. The period of realization, it is obligatory on the part of exporter to realize the value of goods and repatriate the full value of goods within 9 months to the India. Okay, so that is the correct answer. Now see this, as per RBI guidelines, opening hiring warehouses abroad as per the RBI master circular, authorized dealer category 1 banks may reconsider the application received from exporter and grant permission for opening hiring warehouses abroad subject to certain conditions. Applicant's export outstanding does not exceed 5% of exports made during the previous financial year, and applicant has a minimum export turnover of what during the last financial year. So do you know about this particular question? Have any idea about this? बताइए, you have any idea about this particular question? Opening hiring warehouses as per the RBI master circular, what are the conditions that the banks have made for opening or hiring the warehouses abroad? Okay, let's read this particular question. So opening and hiring warehouses abroad as per the RBI circular, the banks may consider the application if you are receiving from exporters and may grant the permission if the applicant's export outstanding does not exceed 5% of exports made. That means you are able to realize your export proceedings within time. आप export कर रहे हो और अपना पैसा recover कर रहे हो on time. If that is the case, we will allow you. The second condition remains, applicant has a minimum export turnover of 1 lakh US dollars during the last financial year. Two things you have to remember, the turnover, right? And this is the turnover for 3 years, 2 years or a single year. This is the turnover for the last financial year. कब के लिए है ये? Last financial year. Okay. Now this is the additional information which you will get the PDF in your paid course. So please just read this particular thing because obviously we have to cover the questions. Now the next question is National Credit Guarantee Trustee Company Limited. It was set up by which particular department? And a Ministry of Finance to act as a common trustee company for operating various credit guarantee trust fund. अलग अलग credit guarantee trust fund हमने बना रखे हैं. So to manage those trust funds, we have created a National Credit Guarantee Trustee Company Limited. It comes under which particular department? Financial Services, Economic Affairs, Expenditure, Revenue, Investment and Public Asset Management. This is all about the important companies and the organizational structure. I know you are trying to guess that. So read this particular answer. It is under Department of Financial Services. Okay, very good. So National Credit Guarantee Trustee Company set up by the Department of Financial Services, Ministry of Finance to act as a common trustee company. Okay. Incorporated with a paid up capital of 10 crores. This is not very important, but this is important. Now presently there are how many dedicated credit guarantee trust under the management of NCGTC, right? This has increased recently, ये बढ़ गया है, and right now there are how many trusts? There are 14 dedicated credit guarantee trusts. कितने हैं? 14. Earlier there were 11. पहले 11 थे और अब कितने हैं? 14. Right? The names of these trusts, they are also written. So fund scheme for educational loans, for skill development, for factoring, for micro units, for Stand Up India guarantee scheme, emergency credit line guarantee scheme, for microfinance, loan guarantee for COVID affected sectors, for COVID affected tourism, for startups, for corporate debts, for low income housing and mutual credit guarantee for MSME and credit guarantee scheme for ENWR, your warehousing based pledge financing. Okay, so all these there are, because these are only 14, you should have a fair idea about these. आपके पास में एक fair idea इनका होना ही चाहिए. And then you have next question, credit guarantee scheme for startups provide guarantee coverage by through National Credit Guarantee Trust Company Limited to its member institution on debt facilitated by them to the startups. Now comes under which particular department? Financial Services, Economic Affairs, Expenditure, Promotion of Industry, Department of Investment and Public Asset Management. Tell me. It should be a fair easy guess. You should know that under which particular department your startups come, and you will be able to guess that. Correct answer remains Department for Promotion of Industry. So, credit guarantee scheme for startups, it provides the guarantee coverage by the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, Ministry of Commerce and Industry through National Credit Guarantee Trustee Company Limited. ठीक है? So, next question is under the credit guarantee scheme for the startups, the maximum amount of debt eligible for guarantee cover under the scheme is per borrower, irrespective of the amount of debt facilities extended to the borrower by the MIs. Now, tell me over here, member institutions, कितना आपका maximum है, although this is changed, so let me just tell you this. The Department for Promotion, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, it has notified the expansion of your credit guarantee, right, which increases the ceiling from 10 crores to 20 crores. The extent of guarantee cover has also been increased to 85% of the amount in default for loan amount up to 10 crores and 75% if the loan amount exceeds 10 crores. ठीक है, 85% होगा अगर आपका loan amount up to 10 crores है, that is the guarantee cover, and it would be 75% if the default exceeds the 10 crore amount. ठीक है, this has been changed in the latest budget. So today I'll keep up to this much only. I hope that these questions you enjoyed these questions. If you did, then please do not forget to tune in tomorrow also, and we'll continue this particular series. Thank you so much for joining in, and this is it for today.